Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. We are once again on the water world to show off another ship, and this is the Galleon Warship with loads of cannons to fire. This thing is absolutely glorious, but my one problem with it is it doesn't quite sink in the water properly. But wow, is this detailed. So let me just take control of my character, just gonna very quickly pretend you didn't see this. So this is the Galleon Warship, and it is massive. If I was to press F10, you can see that this thing right here is 31,000 blocks, almost 32,000 blocks. But my god, is it worth it, and it doesn't lag much, it really doesn't. But let's go around the features of this magnificent beastie. It's going to keep moving, by the way. I don't know how to stop this. I had to manually set up the thrusters, but whatever. So, going around the outside, conveniently this ship is going to move for me, we have a lot of cannons, and these cannons can be fired from the group menu, or you can go around the back of them and shoot them manually. We have these little ladders here, fake ladders, for you to pretend to climb up. And as we come around the back, we have the captain's quarters at the back there. We can see inside the ship right there. Come around the side again, we have even more cannons. There are so many cannons on this. Word of warning, the cannons are broken, as in they don't actually deal any damage. The actual creator who made this ship is hoping that they will be fixed at some point in the future because they are quite nice to use. And this is what it looks like from a first person view. It's just lovely, especially with the water and with the sun setting. It looks magnificent. It's using blast door edges to make it look like wooden planks. We have a steering wheel, which is not a traditional steering wheel. It's using gyroscopes in order to turn. So we have turn, turn, turn. So you want to turn left, you have to click this one. If you want to turn right, you have to click this one. The button in the middle turns the gyroscopes on and off. So the only way you can actually reset the gyroscopes is by counting the amount of times you click. So if I was to click 3 times, like that, to turn left, I would then need to click 3 times on right to straighten out. Moving along here, we're going to go down to the lower deck, featuring the same little pattern where you can see through the floor, which I do like. Let's go around to here. This is kind of like the captain's quarters or even the crew quarters, whatever you want to do. We've got a bed there. We've got like a small little desk there for you to use. We've got a cargo container on the opposite side where you can store stuff in. A small little bookshelf there. We've got a table and some lights there for you to plan your little adventures on. Looking out the back there, looks lovely. Oop, can't fit around there, so I'm going to have to run around here. We've got a painting of a ship in stormy weather to give you some inspiration. As we move along to the front of the ship, on our port and a starboard side, we have these lovely buttons, which if we were to press, would fire all the cannons on that side. So if I went over to the starboard side, I could fire them all, but they don't fire projectiles because that mod is broken. And as we come to the very front of the ship, we have these glorious sails here, and we can just view the front with these lovely little fake lanterns to light our way. Unfortunately, this is a small block ship, so we cannot put regular ladders on here to get up to the crow's nest, so you will need to use a jetpack if you wish to fly up there. So just going to fly up here, and yes, you can look around there and look, land ho! Although we are moving away from the land. Dropping down here. I was surprised it didn't die from that fall. But yes, we're now on the lower deck, or the middle deck even. Let me put my lights on. And this is where all the cannons are. So if we were to press a button, we could fire the cannon, and then we'll have to wait for it to reload. We've got some gravity spheres here, which are acting like the cannonballs, which is just sitting there being all decorative. Let's fire another cannon like that. We can then come over to here, and very careful not to fall in the ocean, because if you fall out of the ship, you're going to be left behind. Some more decoration blocks, which are supposed to be crates of your cannonballs or whatever goods you've just loaded into the little cargo bay. Moving along there, we've got some more cannons. We can fire all the cannons at once with that fancy button. Let's fire that one as well. Lovely jubbly stuff. And moving all the way to the aft of the ship, we've got the little viewing gallery here where we can't fit out, luckily. So no matter how much you try and squeeze yourself, you're not going to fall into the ocean. And now it's time to go even lower. So coming all the way to the front of the ship, we can come back down to an even lower deck. And it looks like we can go even further down. I do love this ship. At the very front, we have got some buttons, which are once again for the cannons. The front cannons for you to shoot forwards. We've got another button here which fires all the cannons on this deck. Let's just fire this one. Like so. We've got some treasure chests here. We've got some more cargo crates for you to pretend that there's stuff inside. We've got a little lantern there. And we can run all the way back to the rear of the ship. And we've got some seats for you to sit in. There are no buttons on these seats. They are just there for you to sit in and have a little rest. That's an all the way around. It looks magnificent in that. In fact, can I make this a little bit darker? There we go. Glows so well. Really does. But yes, continuing on with the little tour of this ship, let's go down even more down here. These are not on rotors, by the way, so you can't raise them up. They're just fixed how they are right now. We need to crouch in here because it's very cramped. We have a button. Fires all the cannons on the sides. Oh, I do love cannon buttons. So satisfying to fire. We don't exactly have much at the back here. We've got these little black blocks and this little thing here, but there's not too much going on. So you could place stuff like decoration blocks on here should you wish. And these are the atmospheric thrusters which are forcing the ship to move forwards at all times. You will need to go into the control panel to switch these off if you want to stop. But yes, that is how the ship is moving because there is no wind in Space Engineers. Got another button there. Let's just fire everything. We've got our batteries here which are powering the ship. Coming to the front of the ship, we once again have a little black box there which does nothing. And that is it for the Galleon Warship. It's an absolutely magnificent design and I highly recommend you download this and the water world because you will need it. It can't actually be used in a proper world in space or on an atmosphere. It has to be used on the water world, but it's just glorious to use. Controlling it is a little bit fiddly and you might want to add in some more thrusters and maybe even a cockpit if you wish to have a more traditional controlling method. But yeah, it is just amazing to look at. So anyway, it'll be in the description below if you wish to download it and try it yourself. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Hopefully it'll be another water one because I do love this world. Bye bye.